What's going on, YouTube? It's James with Shimer Fantasy Battle Reports. Got another battle report for you today. It's actually 3 battle reports for the Wicked GT. Guys, so, as of this recording, I just sent out the last US Masters game. I probably it probably been on YouTube for a total of like 1 to 2 hours after, at the start of me recording this, okay? While I was doing it, while I was, finish editing it, excuse me, I realized I have 2 games at the Dice Dojo. I have 5 games of Wicked, and my current rotation of battle reports has been really slow lately, basically because of all the events that I got going on in real life. And not only that, but I'm about to leave on this trip to Europe maybe in 6 weeks. So I'm like, all right, well, let me just start pumping out these videos. I want to get you the Wicked games. I'm going to give you the Wicked games in full, obviously. But what's going on here is I'm going to kind of run through some Dice Dojo games that we had. I'm going to give you the summed up version. Unfortunately, I know that kind of sucks, but at the same token, you'll see why. My brother, what day was it? It was a holiday. I think this was Easter. I want to say it was Easter. But my brother was on the WCW chat, Discord that Fergus runs that I barely ever check. And they were talking about getting some games in at the Dice Dojo on Easter Sunday. Luke responded, Judson responded, Joel Flint responded, Ian Holland responded. Ian's in my D&D group. So we just decided to come. So you can see here's a picture of my brother playing Luke Nickel. Here's Joel playing Judson. Ian wasn't there yet. I think I was just getting lunch. I came in after work. So by the time I got there, I didn't know if I was actually going to get a game or not. But it doesn't really matter to me because I live like 2 blocks from the Dice Dojo. A little exaggerated, but my gym is like 2 blocks from the Dice Dojo. I ended up getting a game against Judson after this game he played against Joel. Now, while I was watching Judson play, I'm just being upfront here. I was watching Judson play, and he's playing a list with Boar Boys like I was playing with Boar Boys. But he has a chariot, just a random orc chariot, and I kept on telling myself over and over and over again, I really want an orc chariot in my list. I really just want one orc chariot in the list. Just one random ass orc chariot. I already have the K-Pack, I understand that, but just one orc chariot would make it nice. So you'll see that in a minute. Um, like I said, this is going to be battles 352, 353, and then I'm going to start Wicked GT at 354. So that's what the battle port really is about. You can see this is just going to be a summed up list, basically, of mine and Judson's game. Judson ended up bringing a giant brick of Iron Orcs. He brought some Archers. He brought some Boar Boys, Boar Chariot, and some Crossbow Orcs. A couple units of Chaff. What I ended up doing, I'm just going to kind of skim through the photos, was I deployed, I think, I don't even know if we're playing flags or center or what. I have Grotlings in this list. I ended up taking Boar Boys on the right. You can see I brought a unit of 12 Ed Bashers, and I'm actually going to butcher that unit to take a Chariot. What ended up happening in this game entirely was I ended up walking around on the left side of his unit of Orc Ed Bashers with Koopa, just going around the flank, shooting that unit to the left. His Iron Orcs get caught up in the middle by the Trolls, and I end up picking them apart a little at a time. I want to say with the Savages or the Trolls. It looks like the Trolls. I made some big, massive charges on the right with the K-Pack, and then I ended up like basically chaffing his shots and stuff, and the Giant just started going around the corner right there. But like I said, I shot that unit. Let's see. He goes into my Trolls, and he gets stuck there. He puts Bring the Pain on, kills a couple Trolls, but my Trolls just beat his ass. And I don't think I run anywhere, and that just leaves it open for the Savages to charge in. The K-Pack ends up hitting a bunch of Archers, but the Archers actually hold off there. And then Ruckus ends up getting into the Boar Boys, and I think he loses, actually. He kills a couple Boar Boys, but he just basically gets punked over time. Over here, he ends up losing his entire unit, and by the time he loses his entire unit, the game's pretty much over. The other unit got shot to shit by the BGKs, and everything I have is looking at his Boar Boys that are about to kill Ruckus. So that's basically the game right there, in a nutshell. I know it's kind of summed up, and, Judson, for those of you who don't know, Judson won the, what is that called? I think it was Gemini tournament, the one that was uh, the sister one to Masters. So at U.S. Masters, Judson was there, but he was on the sister game, and he ended up winning that one. I think with this list or something similar to this list. But yeah. Over here, I ended up getting a game against Ian. I actually did not expect to play Ian, but Ian came out. I haven't seen Ian play Ninth Age in a while. He's playing a Warriors of the Dark Gods army, and this game has a very similar effect. We stay on the same table. I go ahead and I deploy like so. I forgot what the game was, if it was like flags or breakthrough or what, right? But I go ahead and I rush forward. I chaff his chosen knights on the right side. He has the chosen knights in the back. He has the regular knights on whatever they're called on the right side. Those might have been the fast cav, to be fair. Ian's whole army has this Cthulhu theme going on. They kind of look like lizards. They kind of look like warriors. They can be whatever they want to be. And yeah, so after some magic, I ended up killing off some his what are they called? The dogs. After killing his dogs, he didn't really have a good chaff unit. He ends up going into my grotlings, killing them, overrunning. Or did he even overrun it? He might have just walked around my grotlings. I don't even know. No, he. I take it back. He hits my grotlings. He kills my grotlings. He overruns this way, and then he gets really close to my boar boys. I charge. He decides to flee, and he flees through all my shit, and he ends up just disintegrating that unit. I charge Ruckus and the Trolls and Zod into the left side. I charge Koopa, and Koopa's the only one who failed to charge. Those are chosen, and they all should have like 2 wounds apiece. They're fucking pretty beefy characters. What ends up happening is I end up getting a flaming swords and bring the pain off on that unit of trolls. He failed to stop it. And then Ruckus being on the corner really kind of pummels that unit. He ends up killing only 1 troll. I made a shit ton of regens. You could just see the defeated look in his face when I made I think he did like 15 wounds, and I ended up making like, I don't know, 11 regens, and he's like, oh, come on. And literally I break that unit, and as soon as I break that unit, there's no other picture. As soon as I break that unit, he's like, that's game. And I kind of feel bad because Ian came out for a good time. I mean, we did all hang out on Easter, which was kind of fun. But he came out for a good time in games, and that game literally lasted. The setup lasted longer than the game itself. But Ruckus overruns into that unit with Zod. The trolls overrun forward, and then basically he has a downward battle, and he already knew. He's like, it's not even worth it. All right. After that game, like I told you, I decided to make my own orc chariot. I went to the Dice Dojo kind of looking around like, what can I use for an orc chariot? And I saw the box of gruntas, and I was like, you know what? I have a grunta at home that I bought at Buckeye Battles. So I kind of modded it up a bit here, gave him a little flag, gave him a little hook, and gave him a giant fucking horn. You could see, and I just decided to make this my new orc chariot. We started playing into the Spring Fling team tournament. We got my brother Euron joined because we had 2 of the Mexicans, Jorge and Paco, join us, and then we were looking for a 5th, and Euron came out of retirement to be like, yeah, I'll play. So Euron came out. We ended up getting Team USA the first round, or GPT made their lists, and we ended up playing that. We ended up getting smoked, I think, that first game. Here's the guy painted up. Here's his backside. All right. So that was the first round of the spring team tournament. The second round, I ended up getting against the team. I think it was like Team Randy or something like that. Sean Mooney is the captain of the team, and coincidentally, we got the wicked results, and we got to see who we're playing. And I'm playing Sean Mooney round 1. Coincidentally, me and Sean Mooney got matched up in the Spring Fling tournament, and I was just like, dude, instead of trying to schedule a game and then playing another game, why don't we just play one game and count it for both tournaments? And he's like, let's do it. So we ended up playing at Wicked in person, and I'm going to go ahead and play my Spring Fling team tournament here at Wicked. So So anyways, we're going to go ahead and go over this game. This game I'm going to go more in depth. I'm not just going to sum it up. But like I said, I have so many battle reports I'm going to try to get to you before I go to ETC. So I don't have anything sitting in the backlog before then. Alright, let me see what we were doing at Wicked. Alright, and I'm going to try to do this. I do have to go to work in a little bit, but I think I'll finish this way before then. So, let's go into Wicked GT, round number 1. Alright. We're doing Frontline Clash and Breakthrough. You can't ask for a simpler thing. You just go ahead, you got the starting line, and just walk to the other side. For his list, let's go over that really quick. He has a Soothsayer, a Beast Chieftain, 47 Mongrels, 3 Raiding Chariots, 10 Mongrels, 6 Minotaurs, 6 Minotaurs, Razor Tusk Chariot, Longhorns, Gargoyles, Briar Beast, Gore-Tech, Gore-Tech. My favorite thing about this list is actually that Briar Beast. It is so simple, but it actually scares me. And for 85 points, I really can't complain. Like, that is such a fucking cool little, like, monster, right? His Minotaurs do have the Banner of Speed, so they're faster. Plus, with his BSB totem, he can make them even faster than that. His 3 chariots, the raiding chariots are like the K-Pack, so it does offer a good threat range with a lot of impact hits. And I watched, what's his name? Kenyon Duncan, the Glory from the Golden State. I watched his video on the lists, and they basically everybody on that video was like giving it to Sean Mooney that he's going to just destroy me this game because he has double Gore-Tex. Double Gore-Tex don't scare me. The reason the name the BGKs are the BGKs is because that's the bushwhacking Gore-Tex killers. Okay. So, for those of you who don't remember or who haven't ever seen the battle reports from 2019, the BGKs are the Gore-Tex killers. All right, let's go ahead and go into this game really quick. Sean was such a cool guy. This is a new person that I've never played before. He's from the West Coast. I think he was from Michigan, or he moved to Michigan, something like that. Either he was from the West Coast, moved to Michigan, or he was in Michigan, moved to West Coast. I forgot. But he also play tested the new Orc and Goblin book. We talked about that for a bit. His army all has this rock theme. They're all fucking just rocking huge speakers. Kind of has like a Mad Max, going into the combat thing going on here. You can see these are his raiding chariots and his Tusker chariots, his 2 Gore-Tex. You can see these are his Minotaurs, and then you see his giant block of Mongrels. All right. So let's get some close-ups here. These are the Mongrels. That's the giant unit filler. And then over here, these are his these are his Longhorns. And for the record, because they have the giant speakers, I actually get confused in the middle of the game thinking these were Minotaurs because of the big size of the speakers from a distance. Magic, I end up taking... Oh, by the way, let's go over my list really quick. This is a different list than the last game I brought. I go ahead and I still got King Koopa. King Koopa! I ended up taking Zod. Very similar to how I had Dread, but a little bit different. I take the Shady Shanking, I take the Tuck Tex Guard. That's the big difference. I didn't have a Tuck Tex Guard on Dread. I take the Talisman of Shielding as well as the Pants Pinch and Protecting. With the shield, I think this puts him at a... Let's see, he has 5. He's only an Orc Warlord, not an Iron Orc. So 5, 4, 3, 2 up armor. So 2 up armor unless you have better because Pants Protection. Goblin Witch Doctor, Forest Goblin, that's Baxter. He does have the Crystal Ball. I ended up dropping the Rod of Battle for this list. BSB is still Bazooka. He still does the same thing as he always does. I took 28 Ed Bashers, Savages with Green Tide. I ended up taking 20 Forest Goblins, the BGKs. I ended up taking 21 Goblins with Bows, 6 Trolls, 9 Ed Bash Mounts, Boar Boys. I got 3 K-Pack, 1 Orc Chariot, the 3 Grotlings, and a Giant with a Giant Club. Alright, so for my magic, I ended up getting the Druidism spell. I ended up taking Enveloping Embers, Pyroflow, Fireball, and Flaming Swords. For my opponent, he ended up taking Healing Water, Fountain of Youth, Stone Skin, and then he ended up taking Summer Growth. Now, we go ahead and we deploy like so. I think, do I get first turn or does he? I do. Alright, so I dropped everything first. Put Koopa on the flank. I tend to do that. I have the Boar Boys, and I kind of like them as a unit on the flank. One of the things that's off on the far flank, you can't see it in this picture, is my Orc Chariot. That was a mistake. I put it there for the simple fact that if he had a scoring unit that was going to try to sneak by on the right flank, the Chariot could at least delay them or hold them up. What ends up happening is that Chariot doesn't see anything because it's so damn slow for a long time. I think the whole game. My three little flying squigs in the middle, those are my grotlings. I do have to paint their bases. They're the old paint color that I used to have. And then I have Ruckus on the right with the Boar Boys protecting one flank. I got Koopa with the BGKs protecting the other flank. Troll Savages center. This is pretty standard for me, I think, at this point. Um, I go ahead and I put up my Grotlings in the center of the board. My goal is to chaff up his his raiding chariots. I make the mistake of vanguarding outside of my general's bubble though. And what ends up happening is I'm going to fail a march check on turn one. Let's go ahead and do turn one. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn one. I move up like so. The trolls move up aggressively. Trolls don't give a flying fuck. You could charge me with the raiding chariots, Tusker chariots. I don't care. The trolls don't give a flying fuck. Right? Over on the left, he has a unit of furies or harpies, or whatever they're called, that went into the forest on the vanguard. And then, as you can see, my savages moving up. K-Pack's moving up. K-Pack is respecting the space from the raiding chariots because I failed to chaff them proper. Same thing with the ruckus and the boars. I kind of just fucked that up. All right. But it's an interesting scenario. You'll see what happens. Magic, we got these new magic cards from Wicked. Wicked just kind of gave us these. I like them. I'm kind of torn because the old cards are drawn in my own drawing with the corner hammer. But those are pretty old, and I'm kind of tired of seeing the inside of them. I like these. They're new. They're different. You know, they're the flavor of the week. All right. I ended up getting a 3 on the flux. It's much easier to read for me, by the way. Go ahead and I do a fireball into his furies. He lets it go, hoping that like I kill 2 furies or whatever harpies. I end up wiping them all out. I rolled 6 on the freaking the number of hits and just burned them all off. I think I left one, but the attribute just picked off that last one. And he was pretty steamed about this one. This one, he was hoping to chaff me and just kind of move up, but now he lost his chaff pretty early on. Pyroflow ended up doing that into his Minotaurs, killing off 1 Minotaur at the beginning of the game. And doing a couple more wounds. I do a enveloping embers. He tries to stop this one, and it fails. And it basically burns off literally his mongrel horde. Just wipes out shit. I don't even know. It looks like 16 or more guys. Koopa's going to go ahead and start shooting into a Gortak. Does a wound on the Gortak just for the fuck of it. Why not? And it's going to start turn 1. Beast Herds. Beast Herds turn 1. He charges here into the flank of my Grotlings. And sure, I mean, it's going to be a chaff fight. And this is hilarious to me because this chaff fight lasts pretty much the whole game. He does this though, and I didn't realize this as he was doing it until he did it. It allows his Gortak to not be chaffed by his own guys. I was assuming that his Gortak was not going to go anywhere because he's chaffing his own guys. But now his Gortak's free. He's going to charge into my trolls. This I did not expect. He's also going to charge his Minotaurs into my trolls. And at that point, when I was like, oh yeah, the trolls will be fine. Now I'm like, oh fuck. I left my goblins too close to my trolls. He could overrun into my goblins and fuck up my main pyro block. Oh shit, I fucked up. I fucked up big. I'm looking at this like I fucked up big. He nails both charges. One of the charges needed like a 10. The other one needed like a 9, and he gets it. And I don't think either one had Swift Stride. So he nailed it on both. And as you can see, he's overlapping just so he could get into my BSB unit. The BSB's unit, the BGKs, are 9 inches away. Oh fuck. I fucked up. Alright, I left the table when he was doing his remaining moves, and I went straight to my brother's table. And this is the beginning of the game. This is like maybe, 30 minutes into the game. I went to my brother's table, and he looks me in the face, and he's like, James, I killed his Knights of Rima. I'm going to just destroy this guy. And I look at him and I go, I fucked up. Anyways, we'll see how that goes. As for his Longhorns, he moves up on the hill. He's going to try to just threaten Koopa. And then, let's see how it goes. That's basically how it looks. He just kind of keeps his range. He's going to use all his magic to fuck up my trolls. Magic, he gets a 2 on the flux, goes ahead and he buffs up his... I don't know what he does. I don't have any cards here. I obviously didn't let him heal, and I think I stopped his totems were too far away. I don't think he really did anything in Magic. Gortak ends up killing off 3 of my trolls. He gets the fucking lethal strike with the multi-wounds, and he fucks me up. The Minotaurs go kill off another one of my trolls and doing 2 more wounds. I just failed regions on those, and I fucked up. I couldn't even wound his gore attack. I couldn't even wound his gore attack. I think I tried to do everything into the gore attack or some into the Minotaurs. I don't even remember. I don't have anything to back me up on his overrun. Now, he is going to chase with both, and when he chases with both, his gore attack barely touches the Orcs, which forces him to charge into the Orcs, and he's like, oh, fuck. I think he even tries to stop it. I think he tries to do a restrain, but his restrain fails, and he's going straight into the Savage Orcs. Okay, the Minotaurs need a 9 to get into my BGKs, and they roll an 8. Woo! My butthole puckered, I swear to God. I'm like, oh my lord. And this is why I take a relentless banner. Holy shit, I am booking it. I am getting the fuck out. The fuck out, man. Up there with the Grotlings, I think I kill a guy. I think he does a wound to me. It doesn't really matter. We're stuck there. I couldn't even reform because I am still outside of General's leadership. But we just kind of stay there put. Alright, and whew. This isn't as bad as I thought. I mean, I was expecting the trolls to do something. I failed to hurt his Minotaurs, but if anybody at all is in the gore attack, I'm glad it's the Savages that are strength 5 Savages fighting a gore attack. Just saying. If I was strength 4 gore against this unit would be destroyed. But strength 5, I have a little bit more faith. All right. All right. Let's go in, and there's the combat. Sorry, he did 2. I think he did a wound. I think I did a wound. 2 wounds, and then he has like a charge on the flank, so he wins by 1. I lose 1. All right, turn 2. Orcs and Goblins. Turn 2. Koopa. I just decided I'm gonna just charge this. Fuck this shit. Fuck this. I have no fear in this. Koopa. That unit up there. I thought it was Minotaurs. I think I still thought it was Minotaurs because the other Minotaur unit's right there. But I charged into this unit knowing his general and his BSB are in there, and my goal is to just challenge out and keep challenging out, and I don't really care, right? If I challenge out and he refuses, he doesn't have a BSB, I'm good with that. If he challenges out, if I challenge out and, I just don't care. I think this is an okay fight, right? So Koopa's going to go ahead and take the bait. I'm going to just charge. I didn't have to, but I'm gonna, right? I do now, looking back at it, think this is a mistake, but that's hindsight. Right. The K-Pack barely see the gore attack, so I charged into the flank. He was wondering if he should have just left his guys wide so he could stop the K-Pack. I was like, not really, because I'm just going to kill those guys with the K-Pack, then overrun into your gore attack and do it again. So the K-Pack goes in right here. Boom! I move Zod over here, and as you can see, his Briar Beast popped out by Ruckus. The Boar Boys, I think, failed to charge into his... Actually, I don't think I charged the Boar Boys. I think that was the K-Pax icon. I go ahead and I don't even know if I used the Relentless Banner. I don't know if I needed to. I just walked out of the march range, or the line of sight of his Minotaurs right there, and as you can see in my BGKs, I think that's why I charged Koopa. I think that's why, because I needed somebody to block up the left side from the BGKs getting hit from those Longhorns. Again, I thought they were Minotaurs. Okay, Magic, go ahead and I do an Enveloping Embers and end up burning off more of these guys. He doesn't really care, but that's all that really happens in Magic. I don't think I got a Flaming Sword off. I think he tried to stop it no matter what. Over here, close combat, I challenge. I kill his champ. I forgot he had a champ, honestly. I'm like, oh my god. So, he's a leadership, I think like 8 with a reroll. He rolls a 12. He rolls it again. He rolls like a 10. I'm like, oh shit. Koopa could just straight up annihilate his wizard, his BSB, and his general all in one go, and this stupid little Longhorn unit. Fuck them. Fucking Koopa, you fucking fat fuck beast, man. You just fucked them up. Koopa. These guys roll and run off the hill, and they run like 7 inches. Not even far. Koopa, just get him with your Swift Stride. 3-1-1. Seriously, Koopa? 3-1-1. You fucking fat fuck, Koopa. You are such a fucking fat loser. God damn it, Koopa. Leaves himself open to this Minotaur and fucking Gore-Tech. God damn it, Koopa. God damn it. And his general got away. That's the worst part about this. His general does get away. God damn it. Alright. Over here. I think I did use my Relentless Banner because I didn't shoot at the Minotaurs. Over here, you can see the K-Pack just boom! Ram the shit out of his Gortak, and they go right into... His Gortak did do a couple wounds onto my chariot there. It looks like he did 5 wounds total, but which means that I ended up killing him with the Goblins as the last wound, or I just won combat res. But I popped his Gortak, go right into the flank of his Minotaurs, and we're going to be there. As you can see, the Grotlings are still in that combat right there. They stay there for a very long time. Alright. Turn 2. Beasters. Beasters turn 2. He charges his Gortak and his Minotaurs into Koopa. Of course he does. Gets in with both. His fucking general rallies. Of course he does. Actually, I don't think so. I think his general fails the rally the first time. He gets to the edge. He will rally at the end, though. But that's fine, because that means his wizard is out for this round. That means his BSB is out for this round. Okay. He charged in... it was a long charge, but he charges his mongrels into the flank of my K-Pack. He will get in here. And that's how it looks. Okay. So, I'm probably going to lose my K-Pack, okay? I couldn't really turn my savages. I should have. I should have turned my savages into rank formation facing straight towards the flank of the Minotaurs. But I wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't thinking. You can see his Briar Beast is coming for my BGKs over there. And my general is looking at those Minotaurs. I'm not too worried about that, to be fair. His raiding chariot and his raiding chariots and his Tusker chariots are basically kind of coming over this way to threaten my boar boys and my savages and getting himself set up. But that's how it looks. No magic. Let's go straight into combat. Combat. Boom! I end up ramming one of the Minotaurs off. My goblins end up killing off one mongrel, but Jesus Christ, he's gonna rip me apart there. Actually, I'd kill 2 mongrels. I'll take it. He kills one of my chariots, causing me to not... I was hoping he would actually just wipe me out. If he wipes me out, he doesn't go anywhere. But since I'm still in contact, I have a charge, a flank, I think like 3 wounds maybe. Maybe that's 5 combat res, but he has a charge, flank, big flank, 2 ranks, banner, and like 4 wounds. He's going to force me to run. And when I run, I run away from his Minotaurs, which means his Minotaurs are going to flank into my savages. And like I said, I could have solved this easily if I just would have turned my savages around. But I was too lazy to be like, oh, I don't want to go 5 wide, and I guess I'll just steer this way. And that was my own goddamn fault. So I'm full of flaws this game. He charges right into the flank of my savages. Now, the good news is I do have Zod there to help me out, right? But these guys over here just run this way. My K-Pack actually gets away. I don't think it rallies, though, for the rest of the game. Over here, God, I tried to kill somebody with Koopa. Impact hits, he does 2 wounds. I'm like, you know what? What agility is your Gortak? He tells me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put all my attacks into the Gortak and just try to kill the Gortak. Gortak goes and kills Koopa to the point. Koopa goes and fucking boom! One-shots that fucking Gortak. Fuck that fucking thing. Fuck it up its stupid ass. You fat fuck, Koopa. You know what? I'll take that. That's good, Koopa. You killed the Gortak. All right. Turn 3, Beastards. Or Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 3. I'm going to give you guys a 3-second warning on 3, 2, 1. Wog! I wog, and it's an important wog. I charge Rookers into the beast, Briar Beast. I charge my General Zod into the back of the Bull Minotaurs, right? And I don't think I charged my Boar Boys in, but yeah, that's how it looks. His Minotaur's up there, though. I think part of the reason I did the wog wasn't even those charges, because they were not big charges. It was to get that extra inch to get my BGKs out of the line of sight of his Minotaurs and start to nuke down that Minotaur unit. Yeah. As you can see, my Grotlings are still holding against his Mongrels. They're just going to stay there for a bit. And then I think these guys did fail a charge. I think that did happen. All right, so close combat. Wait, let's see. Do I even have magic? Did I have magic? I want to say magic. I don't have a picture of it, but I ended up putting 2 wounds onto the Tusker Chariot because I know I have a couple wounds onto that Tusker Chariot. I don't have line of sight of his Minotaurs at the moment, so I just kind of try to help out the combat with spells, and he stops my flaming swords. All right, close combat. My general. I think Ruckus puts a wound on this Briar Beast, by the way, but it just doesn't do anything. And then my general here, he challenges out. My general just, I don't know if he fucks him up or my champ. I think my champ fights the fight, and my general just beats the shit out of this unit. And I mean beats the shit out of this unit, where he ended up taking, I think he kills like 2 Minotaurs outright. I got like a 5 on the impact hits, plus I swing before him with my general. I end up killing out like 2 Minotaurs. His champ kills my champ, and then the rest doesn't really do much. He's going to lose this combat pretty big. I'm going to overrun, and when I overrun, I chase him that way into the flank of his mongrels. Now, as you can see, his Minotaurs do have a long charge into the flank of my savages. I was a little worried about this, but it's still a far charge. Like I said, Ruckus gets stuck fighting the Briar Beast, and that's how the table looks. Oh, he did 3 wounds onto Ruckus. Ruckus did 1 wound onto him. And then over there, he did kill my Grotlings, you son of a bitch. Alright. Turn 3, Beasters. Beasters turn 3, he does rally his general. He's going to go ahead and charge the Minotaurs into that flank. He's going to charge his raiding chariots into my Boar Boys. He fails both charges. His Tusker Chariot charges. It's a long charge. I think it's like an 18 or 19-inch charge into my BGK unit. My BGK starts shooting the shit out of him. As you can see, he does have 2 wounds already hanging off of his speaker. And then I end up shooting again, doing another couple wounds. Actually, holy crap, that multiplied. I think I did. Honestly, this picture, it looks like he has a red and a white one. Could be the same one, though. And then here, he has, I think the red and the white one is just 1 wound, but I end up doing 2 more wounds onto him from the stand and shoot. But he is going to live. He fails all the charges. All the charges he fails. They were pretty long charges, though, in all fairness. He did have a reroll on the hill. I was sweating a bit about. But yeah. Magic, he ends up putting a black wing, so it doesn't happen again on this unit. And then as for the savages wipe out the mongrels. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 4? 4. Boar Boys charge into his other mongrel unit. They get in, and I line them up so they get overrun into that Tusker Chariot. Not really thinking too much ahead of that. I think the savages charged into his raiders, and he fled, and then I just failed to charge into them, which I was charging them because if I got in, it wasn't that far of a charge, but if I got into them, I would have had the breakthrough no problem and be away from his Minotaurs. I set up his Minotaurs to basically fight Zod and Ruckus. And then we'll see how that goes. And then my other chariots are coming up this way. So he fled with that raider unit. My savages failed their charge. And yeah, that's how it looks. This is a pretty big magic phase. Magic phase, don't know what I got, but I ended up starting doing Fireball into his Minotaurs. Fuck these fucks. Oh, no. Fireball was into his Tusker Chariot. I killed the Tusker Chariot. Straight up. Everything else is into the Minotaurs. I ended up doing a Pyroflow. I think he tried to stop it, and he fails on the dice to stop it. So I end up killing off 2 Minotaurs straight up. Okay? Then I go ahead and I do Flaming Swords, and with the Flaming Swords and throwing weapons and my BSB, I just unload 40 Tomahawks, just flaming, and I burn this whole unit of Minotaurs down just to 1. He was like, what the fuck just happened? Over here, these guys are going to shoot into that guy. They're these little green guard who've just been sitting here. And not only that, I forgot I had 1 extra body here that I just kept forgetting to put on there. So this green guard shoot into his into the one guy, and they kills him. For the record, this is a movement tray from movementtray.com. I actually painted him up, put some flock on there. I was doing that the last minute the next day, the day before, so there's a lot of loose flock in some of these pictures. But I was just trying to get it out there fast enough. All right. The Boar boys get into his destroy his unit. His other unit's fleeing. He fails this charge on his turn 4, and I think I just kind of give him a handshake, like, you want to just call it here because his raiding chariot's in a bad spot. I'm gonna grab the objective with my boar boys. I don't even have to fight him at this point. I could just walk past him and just start nuking him with my pyromancy. I We do call it. I give him the fact that the general's unit's kind of behind the hill. I can probably, based on what you just saw me do to the Minotaurs, I could probably kill the rest of his Longhorns and start putting wounds onto his general and BSB. But it's basically two turns to pick wounds through. My boar boys will grab the objective, and my savages don't have to really do shit. The chariots, I don't even remember if they rallied or not. So we just kind of call the game there. We just kind of talk it through. The rounds at Wicked, for some reason, were really short. They're 2.5 hours. That is my one critique I have to give to Rob. The rounds were just a little short. Sigborn asked me about it. I didn't think about it twice, but then when I got there, it does affect a couple of my games where I had to just basically like, okay, this is what's going to happen because we don't have enough time to finish the game. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me go over what ended up happening. He ended up taking 1,400 points of mine, mainly the trolls and my chaff. I'm trying to see what else he killed. Koopa. Alright, so those are the main things he killed on my army. K-Pack as well. I ended up taking 3,100 of his without even finishing him off. It ended up becoming a 17-3, and like I said, this counted for both Spring Fling as well as this. So I got 2 wins. 2 wins in one game. That is a first. This was I always figure beasts are a favorable match for me. I just tend to have a lot of shooting and pyro, and they don't really have armor. And then I did enjoy a couple things I added to the list, like the boar chariot and the boar boys didn't do too much, to be fair, but they offered me some flank control, you know. But besides that, I like the Grotlings. Grotlings do great. I think that the Grotlings are a fun addition. So this is a 3-game winning streak. I don't know if I continue with the next round or not, but we'll find out. And yeah, that's about it. I didn't really mark down the points for this. I will start my spreadsheet afterwards, but yeah, that's about it for this game, guys. I'm gonna leave you with some words from Sean Mooney, and I'll be back, or I guess see you next time. Take care. Peace.
You could just, they always hear my point of view, so I want to hear your point of view on how you think the game went.
It went really well. Solid player. I thought I had a deployment advantage, but his pyro went off and burnt the mongrels and every single beast turret to the ground.
Yeah, no, he the way he deployed, I wasn't expecting it. It caught me off guard, and then that double charge really. I was like, I honestly, I really lucked out early. You're not overrunning into my goblins.
Yeah,
that would have, that
would have been big.
I went over there and I told him, like, I fucked up.
It was an 8 on 2 dice.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it was close. I had a couple chances to swing big. It just didn't happen.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for the game.
Great game. Fun playing.
All right, man. I'll see you.